Well, hello there. Welcome back, people, and a huge welcome to my Thrival tribe. If you haven't met me before, my name is Lexi Tommy, and this is my Thrival Guide. Every Thursday, I sit down and I talk to you about how to get your life together. It's a fun little channel on adulting, and it's going to help everything in your day-to-day run much smoother. So keep watching today and subscribe below so I can keep coming back every Thursday to help you day to day run your life a little smoother. Well, September is here and it's time to stop your lollygagging, stop your partying, put that Bellini down. It's time to budget, baby. September is so expensive. People get slammed in September with summer bills and back to school, activity fees, registrations, and don't forget your fall and winter prep. It gets expensive really quick. Thankfully, this month is Savings in September. You're going to learn how to tone it down, how to streamline it, how to save it, and how to use your money to create a little nest egg so that you don't get into this trouble again. This month, I'm going to show you how to shelfember. Use what you have already to make meals for the whole month. It's going to save you huge on groceries and get you a little nest egg you can put towards your fall and winter bulk meals. I'm going to show you how to set up some sinking fund accounts so that you can take some of the fluctuation out of your finances. We're going to do a spending freeze for a whole week and get a nice little chunk of change to put into some of those accounts. And the money savings ideas I'm going to share with you are going to give you big time coin. And at the end of all of it, we're going to do our fall and winter bulk meals so that we can keep our savings growing and multiplying and pulling us up. So today's video is on sinking fund accounts and how to set them up to reduce the financial fluctuation in your life. When my husband and I divvied up the financial responsibilities, I ended up with everything to do with the kids, household, events, those types of things. Those are all categories of massive fluctuations. I deal with the kids' fluctuating payments, I deal with their activity fluctuations, I deal with the events like Christmases and birthdays, and those end up getting slammed in one month or the other. I ended up with groceries and household supplies, and it makes sense because I'm the one shopping for those things. But they're all categories where you get slammed with a million tiny cuts, a million tiny little expenses, maybe just $2 here and $3 here, but after 1,000 of those, they add up very quickly. Groceries, kids' activities, little needs here and there, they all end up costing big time money. I think the categories are typically those that are referred to as death by 1,000 cuts. It doesn't happen necessarily all at once. There's small little amounts that add up to big expense in the end. And I really think that those are the categories that take the majority of people's finances. Then there are other things like the activity fees. Sometimes they're a payment per month. Sometimes they're a regular, the first of every month you owe this amount, and that pays for something like guitar. The other things are like volleyball that I just spent $346 on all at once. It's those fluctuating payments that come and go, where you sign your kid up for volleyball thinking it's once a month payment, and it turns out to be a one-shot deal that really can hurt in the end, especially if it's something like September, where you're also paying for back to school and summer and winter and fall clothes. All of those categories together can add up to a real deficit. So my kids are in multiple activities. I know lots of people who have their kids in multiple activities. I just plain got sick of the panic and the catch up that I was doing every September, October, and then only to get planning for Christmas and get slammed again. And then December, January, February, I was playing catch up until you're slammed again. The fluctuation was what was hurting me. So instead, I took all the fluctuation out of it by having these sinking accounts. The plan is super simple, which is good because when you're doing something financial, you need it to be mindless. I created the accounts to sort it all out for me. I looked at things like an envelope system and a ledger and a spreadsheet. That takes time. You have to remember to do it and you have to account for it all the time. I'll get to that too, but for simplicity, I created the accounts. Now I'm going to get into what accounts I created and the amounts that I contribute to each one. The first one is the activities account. This account pays for all of my children's activity fees, registrations, the monthly expenses for their activities, the incidentals for their activities like new skates or new soccer socks. When I calculated the children's activity fees for the year, it came out to $3,600 for the year. I even it off to $4,000 a year to pay for any incidentals, any extra trips that we have to take with them, anything extra that we might have coming our way this year. Then I divided that number, whatever that number is for you, for us it's 4,000. I divided it up by 12 months. That's $333 a month that I need to add to the activities account. I decided that it came off of the first paycheck so that I can set my reminder on my phone to pay it. I just set up an ongoing reminder that comes for the first paycheck of every month to remind me to contribute $333 to the activities fund. Once it's reminded me and I've paid that bill, I go ahead and I remove the notification. I went ahead and I set up a bulk meals account. This is to save for one of the biggest expenses that families face every day, every week, every month and year. The average family spends over $800 a month on groceries. That is a mortgage payment in many areas. It should be priority number one to have this account. I put $50 every month into this account so that I can pay for my bulk meals for the next round. After 3 to 4 months of savings, plus an additional amount if I do the spending freeze or if I do a shelf ember, it adds the amount that I need to cover my bulk meals, which makes me only responsible for the fresh refrigerator and pantry items that I need every week. I only pull from that account when I'm doing my bulk meals run. I have found that I don't need more than $50 every month contributed to it because I also accumulate points, which we have talked about in other videos. I have a Superstore PC points card that I use quite loyally. And as a result, I accumulate quite a bit of funds in there. So right now, for example, if I were to use my funds right now, I used it in the springtime in March, but if I used it again now, I would have $75 sitting there waiting to use. And that's money that can be used towards groceries. So of course I could use it towards my bulk meals groceries. It will work perfectly. Next, I'm going to set up my emergency account. I put $50 from every second paycheck into that account. And I pull from that account only when having extreme emergencies. And as that account grows, I use that account for household maintenance items as well. The next account is the celebration account, and that account is very different. It is a huge hitter when it comes to financial planning. This is real life planning. You can have a budget, but lots of times when you are making a budget, you're not budgeting in that you're going to need to set aside a little money every month to cover the events that you're going to want to participate in. Yeah, okay, when you're deep diving down on your debt, you're probably not going to be looking forward to much of a Christmas. But for the most part, you're going to be wanting to invest a little money for fun as well. Otherwise, your budget means nothing. You won't stick to it. So in the spirit of saving, I have created a celebrations account. It is the account that I buy flowers for people. I pay for Christmas. I pay for birthday parties for my kids. I send cards from or flowers from. Everyone I know seems to be born in August or shortly thereafter. So that can be another month that creates a huge fluctuation in finances. It happens for everyone. I have one child born in October, huge birthday party, then Halloween, then Thanksgiving for us, and then whammo, Christmas. I get like a month of reprieve or so, and then my next child's birthday. So there's a good tie-up of months where you get slammed with these big events and then nothing. You might as well be tucking away money to handle those big amounts and to produce a fund that covers all events all year long. Let's just look at it this way. Let's say you put $250 a month into that account every month, and you have a fund sitting there, and you had a $1,500 Christmas. What does January look like? Some people, January is a month where they are dreading the credit card bill, where they are sweating on how they are going to make it. With a sinking account for celebrations, a $1,500 Christmas means nothing but a $1,500 Christmas, because you still have potentially, out of that $250 every month, you still have another $1,500 to cover the events for the rest of the year. It means you can also save money by buying Christmas presents whenever you see them available and mark off the people as you go. It'll make for a de-stressed Christmas season. My last account is a family fun account. I tuck away $100 a month into this account, and anything else extra that I can swing, I'll pop in there as well. The money is sitting there in the account, ready for a little holiday, a little family trip, or a little family fun for us to do. The sinking fund accounts have really taken the stress off of the day-to-day of financial fluctuations. Some accounts get money the first paycheck of every month. Some accounts get money the second. It really depends on what bills are coming out in between. And I spread out the cost as even as I can. And as a bill comes up for those categories, you don't have to stress. You already have the money set aside to pay for it. And if you get a good deal, you can have it in your mind that that money just stretches that much further. And with each account comes a different type of responsibility. You're not going to go crazy and spend the $3,000 you've set up in your celebration account, because you know your kids' birthdays and Easter and other holidays and events are coming up that rely on that account too. It keeps you accountable and planning for the events that are coming up throughout the year. Your kid spontaneously wants to go to camp with another kid, you can check the account and see if it will work without just kind of going on the fly. I would highly recommend making the sinking fund accounts to add some stability to your day-to-day and your financial strains. It'll easily categorize your money for you, give you a point of reference to look back on, and it will take the panic and fluctuation out of your financial planning. Go ahead and give it a try. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe so I can keep coming back every Thursday. I am super excited to see you engaging in yourself and your life and your family. Welcome, Thrivers, to my Thrival Guide. We'll see you soon.